Good morning, good morning. I am Reverend Karin, and I am one of the senior ministers of the New Vision Center. And there, I said it, and I didn't cry. I told you the installation has an effect. And I'm so, so grateful to be here with all of you, with those who are here so often, with those who are here for the first time. To give you a little heads up, Reverend Leslie and myself were installed last Friday. And that's, yes, yeah. I guess it was a week ago Friday. And yes, and it has been such an amazing experience. And thank you, thank you, thank you for all the gifts, for all the good. It was amazing. And so here we are. For those of you who know, we have a yearly theme, and our yearly theme is this year celebrating our spiritual awakening. And here we are in October, and I'm telling you, we are in the celebration part. Have you noticed it? Yeah. Have you noticed it? It feels like our yearly theme is in alignment with this wonderful desert that we are living in, because it is exploding. If you are on Facebook or if you actually walk through the desert, you see an explosion of color, of fragrance, of just goodness. So that is what we are anchoring into this whole month. It is our month of taking a look at our contribution. At our contribution to the world, to the people that are around us, to the community we belong to. That is where we're going. And I called this talk today, The Art of Giving, because what has become clear to me that there is a giving around, no, there's an art around giving. There is this time that we are called into to become fully aware of all the good that we have and to give from that place. And if we don't take the time to become aware of our good, to name it, to claim it, what Beverly so beautiful read in the reading that you'd shared from Dr. Ernest Holmes, if we don't take the time to really become aware of it and to give from that place, we have a tendency to give with drinks attached, with feeling like, okay, I gave, now I need back, or to give and feel like it's not enough. All of that disappears when we take the time to recognize how full we really are, how blessed we really are. And so I wanted to illustrate this, and I came across this image. It's a puzzle. It has flowers on it. It has something to do maybe with films. There are bubbles, there are stars. And what else is there? There's a piece missing. Yes. And our brains, our mind is actually wired from way, 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 way long ago to be aware of what's missing. Because we had to have that information to prepare ourselves when that saber tiger would show up, or the beast, or something. So it's very, very deep in our brain that our brain looks for what's missing. Here's a little news flash. The saber tigers are not around anymore. And what do we still do? Oh, we can walk into a room. I know there are some people in this room who can walk into the room and say, oh, that's missing. Oh, this could be different. Oh, you didn't mention this. Right? And so what I want to look at today is how can we recognize that we are wired that way and yet have a different experience. Because if we don't have a different experience, this is what happens. What is missing becomes so big that we never get to the point. Oh, I know I messed that up. I'm so sorry. This is what happens if we don't see all the good that is around us. The piece, the thing that is missing, becomes so big. So the talk today is really about how can I move myself from this place of lack consciousness to a place of sufficiency, recognizing I have all that I need. We have all that we need. This community has all that it needs. Our life has in it everything that we need. And so what comes to mind for me always is this story. I think it might be a myth or somebody made up this story, and we have heard it. I know you have heard this. I love this story. And if you have heard it, I invite you to open up and listen for the nuances. So there is a monastery in the woods that used to be a flourishing order and has now been reduced to just 5 monks. An abbot and 4 monks. And all of them are way over 70 years old. And one afternoon, the abbot was thinking, I don't know what to do. We are clearly a dying order. And he noticed across the valley, there was a little hut, and that was the hut of the rabbi who would come to visit every once in a while, and smoke was billowing out of the chimney. And he thought, I'll go ahead and ask the rabbi. So he walks over. The rabbi welcomes him, and he says, I came with a question. We are a dying order. Do you have an idea? Do you have a solution? Do you have something that you can give us to change it? And the rabbi said, oh, I'm so sorry. I experienced the same thing. Very few people are coming to the synagogue anymore. And they're so busy. They don't take the time to be with their faith. But come on in, we'll have tea together, and we'll talk. So they had a beautiful afternoon. They had tea. They talked about their different faith, finding the commonalities. And when it was time for the abbot to leave, he said, this was a lovely afternoon, but I'm so disappointed because I did not do what I came here to do, was finding a solution. Is there anything you can give me? And the rabbi said, I'm sorry, I don't. I just know that the Messiah is one of you. And with that, the abbot left, went back to the monastery. And I like to pause there, because that language is unusual for us, right? But did you hear that beautiful prayer, the invocation that Janet spoke at the beginning? In there, she spoke about that there is one source, and it is within each one of us. I just would like you to remember that. So the abbot goes back to the monastery, and the monks say, did he give you a solution? Did he have an idea? And the abbot said, no, we didn't come up with anything. It was odd. When I left, he said, the Messiah is amongst us. So for the next couple of months, the monks were contemplating this. Well, if that is really true, if the Messiah is among us, it must be the abbot, because he's the leader. He leads us. He makes those decisions. It must be him. It could not be Brother Thomas, because he doesn't say a lot of things. Although when he does talk, there's wisdom there, deep wisdom. Could not be Brother Michael, because he is a grouchy old man. However, what's surprising, every time when we really need him, he's right there. He's right there, ready to give. Clearly, it couldn't be me. Or could it? Could I be the one? There are moments where I feel so connected. Nah, it couldn't be me. But maybe it is. And so what happened over the next couple of months, they were treating each other with such respect and love. Because it could be the one. And wouldn't you know it, after a couple of months, people from the village would come up to picnic, because it was in a beautiful area, and they were like, oh, something is different here. And before long, some of the younger men asked, can we help out with maybe redoing the chapel, painting it, making it look better? And more people were attracted to this overflow of love and respect. And before you knew it, there was someone who said, I would like to join this order. Now, I love that story. I love that story. I see it in my life. I see it in this community. I see it everywhere. When we take the time to really not just say those words that we say in this teaching so much, that there is one power, one presence, and I can use it. I am of it. I am with it. It is within me. If we allow us to have that journey from our head into our hearts and really feel that, embody it, it radiates out of us. And then what happens? It connects with all of those other particles out there that are attracted to it, and before you know it, that wave of abundance and flow happens more and more. And that is why gratitude is so important. Because when we take the time to recognize all the good that is here, wherever here is in that moment, it brings forth that much more. So let's take a moment and look around. See the people that you see here. See this space, the flowers, the beautiful bowl that signifies this safe space for all of us to come to. And feel that sense of sufficiency. Everything that we need is right here. Victoria Castle, oh yes, says it this way. Embodied abundance goes far beyond the narcissistic orientation of as long as I have what I need, that's all that matters. Real abundance means living in a state of fullness, of flow, welcoming our interconnectedness with everyone else. With everyone else. When we take a moment and become fully aware that I am sourced so completely that I can give from that place my love, my joy, my enthusiasm, my good, my time, my talent, my money, we realize there's plenty. And the more I give from that place, it primes the pump, and there is more than enough for everyone. For everyone. And I know that each one of us has areas in their lives where we know that so completely. We know that so completely. We know that just because we feel so fully that we love our one child, that it doesn't take away from the love we have for another child, right? We know that the more we give, the more we have to give. The supply is truly endless. So there are areas in our lives where we believe that. And then I don't know about you, but every once in a while, I come into an area in my life where I don't believe that. Where I said, oh no, I can't give. I can't do this now. I can't give because then I don't have. And what this teaching really invites us to is to look beyond that limiting thinking into the place where there is sufficiency, where there is enough. And the way we connect with the place is when we embody the affirmation, I am enough and I have enough. Let us say that together. I am enough. I have enough. Again. I am enough. I have enough. One more time. I am enough. I have enough. And as we breathe into that, see if there's something within you that says, no. And if so, well, then that's our work. That's how we know what is ours to work on, what is ours to look at. Where am I getting triggered or activated when I think I have enough and something within me says, no? Because it shows me that there's something within me where I haven't done the work to clear away any obstacle, any barrier to the flow that is infinite. We live in an infinite universe. If I am allowing myself to feel that, to be that, I joyfully can give. I love this by Eugene Holden. He says, I live in an abundant universe that surrounds me with good. I receive enough, I give enough, I am enough. In all that I do, my life reveals the all good of God. Isn't that a great affirmation? We would wake up in the morning and read that first thing in the morning and feel it. Take the time to let everything else fall away and feel that sufficiency, feel that abundance, feel that good that is all around us. The New Vision Center is a great example for this. Right now, right where we are, I believe with every cell of my being that we have enough people, enough beloveds, enough care, enough financial resources. We have enough to have this center be the beacon of life, the place to reveal the power of life so powerfully and in a very beautiful setting. We have enough, all of us. What we have to realize is that we have to make that journey into our heart and feel it and know it and give from that place. And when we do that, when we are able to do that, we look at a puzzle and there is one piece missing and we say, gosh, isn't that gorgeous? Oh, and there's a piece missing. But it is not taking our life over that all that we can see is the one person we're missing in our life or that one amount of money or whatever that missing feeling is. That is when we know that we are in the consciousness of abundance. So let us all take a breath. Ernest Holmes invites us. He says, Let the one who is sad, depressed, or unhappy find some altruistic purpose into which he may pour his whole being, and he will find a new inflow of life of which he has never dreamed. Never dreamed. And it happens. It happens. So how can we take all of these words, all of these ahas into our week? How can we make a difference in our individual lives? I love the concept of paying it forward. Some of you might have heard about that movie. It was a movie, I think it was in the 80s, of this young, maybe 7th grader who came up with this idea that if one person would pay it forward to give something to 3 people a day, and then those 3 people would give something to 3 people a day. And it could be, paying for something at Starbucks, paying a compliment, giving someone money who is in need of money, whatever that giving is. So one person starts, 3 people a day, those 3 people do it. After 2 weeks, how many people would have been touched? What do you think? Come up with a number in your mind. Here's the numerical solution of that. 4,782,969. One person having enough energy, having enough enthusiasm, having enough knowingness that if I give and I inspire those to give, and we do that for 2 weeks, we can touch so many people. And that is my invitation for this week. Let us become so clear of our goodness, of our abundance that we all have. Every person who is in this room has an overflow of love, of light, of peace, of harmony, of knowledge, of wisdom, of money, of abundance, of inspiration to give. Let us touch the world. So it is. Thank you. And let us start with what we know how to do here. I invite all of the ministers in the room, all of the practitioners to please stand with me. Stand with me as we become aware of the good that is right here. Noticing the love that is present in this sanctuary, that is felt by those around the world who are participating in this service. As we recognize God as love, as peace, as joy, as grace, as we recognize the allness of life in this very moment, we consciously step into it. We recognize that I am of it. It has its being in me. And so it is from this place of overflowing good that we can bless the world. And we can send our love and our light out into the world to raise up this planet, to raise up individuals that we know are yearning for the deep knowingness of this truth. Every person that has placed their name and a prayer request into our prayer box is going to be lifted up by this love that we feel for one another, because it is grounded in the love that we have for ourselves. How very, very grateful I am to know this truth, to speak this truth, to live this truth. Thank you, life. And together we anchor this truth as we say, and so it is.